Thank you all for joining today. I hope you guys again are safe and healthy uh, inside of your homes or wherever you might be working remotely from. If you are working remotely, I'm Travis from PandaDoc, and I'm going to be the host for today's webinar. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce my two panelists. But before I do that, 6 ways to slow down your sales cycle and lose your deals. If you didn't get it already, guys, it's April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day. And we thought that you guys could use a little bit of levity in some serious times that we're all going through. We're obviously here to help you speed up your sales cycle and to close more deals. So we're just kidding about that title. And we've got some fun stuff planned for you guys. Hopefully it'll make you smile. If not, hopefully you learned something from the webinar today. So let's go ahead and introduce our two panelists. I'll move these slides along here. Speaking with us today, we've got Troy Barter. Troy works with me here at PandaDoc. Troy is our Director of Sales Development, and he joins us from his home in Tampa Bay, Florida. And prior to PandaDoc, Troy spent about 15 years as a sales leader. And actually, one of my favorite things about Troy is just how candid he is. He kind of reminds me of like a real world Ron Swanson, if you will. So except for the fact that he drives a Tesla, which Ron would never do. So a fun fact about Troy, as I was collecting fun facts, this was awesome. And since today is April Fool's Day, we thought this would be good for you guys. But Troy's son is actually a big fan of professional wrestling. So he built kind of like a big half arena in his room for him. And it's really cool. I'll share a picture with that with you guys in just a minute here. But the room was actually like randomly featured on a morning news program in Canada. And let's see if I can pull up this picture for you guys real quick, just because it was super cool. And it totally cracked me up. Let me share my screen and just show you this real quick. As you can see, this is like an awesome, real life replica of that room. And I just wanted to share that with you guys again. Just trying to keep it light for today, get to know our panelists just a little bit more. And we'll go ahead and go back to the slideshow. So that's Troy for you guys. Also on today's panel, we have Reva Pellerin. Reva is the BDR manager at Vidyard, and she joins us today from her home in Kitchener, Ontario in Canada. She comes to us with over 10 years of experience in sales. And prior to Vidyard, she worked at Oracle in their cloud sales division. Vidyard, for those of you who may or may not be familiar, is a good friend of ours, and they're a leading video platform for businesses like HubSpot, LinkedIn, Marketo, Salesforce, and plenty more. Reva oversees a group of business development representatives and is honestly one of the nicest people I have ever met, and it's not just because she's Canadian. She's great, she's very kind, she's very knowledgeable. And a fun note about Reva is that it is especially relevant for today. When she was younger and in grade 12, when she was looking at all the different colleges and universities she wanted to go to, she was really interested in applying to a clown school, and she wanted to be an acrobat in a circus, but her parents talked her out of it, and I'm kind of glad they did, because I wouldn't have probably gotten the chance to meet her without that. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and just move these slides along. Guys, we're having fun today. Hope you enjoy it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get us started with some housekeeping stuff. If you're having trouble with your audio, try using the dial-in. And if you wanna ask questions, feel free to ask questions whenever you want. If they're relevant to what we're talking about in that slide, I'll bring them up. Otherwise, we'll do a Q&A at the end. And yes, absolutely, as always, with like every webinar you've ever attended, we are recording this bad boy, and we're definitely gonna send you a follow-up with the recording so you can watch it later and share it. We'll also be sharing the slides with you as well. So just a couple housekeeping things and an overview of what we're gonna be talking about today. We're giving you 6 terrible pieces of advice for your sales funnel. And none of them are things that we endorse, but it is April Fool's. We're gonna give you actually 6 awesome pieces of advice and different strategies and tactics that our own teams are using at both Vidyard and PandaDoc, and we know our customers are using, and always our top customers are using, to close deals faster and to increase the velocity of their sales funnel. So we're gonna be talking about how to break through inboxes, how to send proposals, obviously not with glitter bombs. We'll get to that later. The best process and strategies for creating demo videos. Always want to use sound in those if you can. We're going to talk about, e-signatures and collecting signatures to close deals and move them forward. and then how to get attribution for all of your videos, and making sure that it's connected to your CRM. And lastly, we're going to wrap it up with how to do payments electronically. You know, that's something that PandaDoc specializes in, and that's something that is especially important in today's climate, is being able to get those deals closed and sealed remotely and electronically. That is the overview. And I'm going to go ahead and kick us off with strategy number 1. Terrible piece of advice. Send videos of people screaming loudly to break through inboxes. We're totally just kidding here, guys. That's something we would never recommend doing. Although we do love using video as part of our prospecting and just as part of our sales strategy in email as much as possible. I'm going to toss that over to Reva, and she's going to get you guys started with that. Reva, you there? Let me just check on that real quick. Troy, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, we might be just having some technical difficulties. Bear with us, guys. We're all working from home right now. So I just want to make sure we've got everybody in here. And maybe she'll chime in here in just a minute. Let's see. And if she doesn't jump in, I'll take over. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I got totally kicked off. I'm sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
We can. There you are.
Okay. All right. Let me just.
Oh, take your time. Look, it wouldn't be April Fool's without a little bit of technical difficulty.
Yeah.
And be cautious. Yeah, we might have some pets. I've got my cat meowing in the background here. Troy may have a kid or two come running in at any point, and same with Reva. So Reva, we were just talking about getting creative with your prospecting videos. You know, our terrible piece of advice that we were talking about before is like, don't send videos of people screaming. What should they be doing instead?
Yeah, so I love this. We really think that video is the best way to let your personality shine, first and foremost. So anyone that's been in sales for even a few months knows that, you know, email and phone, they're kind of dwindling in response rate. Of course, like really personality, really, and videos and let your personality shine. My favorite story about this is one of our customers, Dynamic Signal. One of their business development reps was prospecting Buffalo Wild Wings. And to do that, he purchased their hottest wings and he pitched them through video while eating hot wings. And it was just hilarious. He was tearing up and couldn't get through his sentences, but it was such a fun and lighthearted way to get through to the team. And so don't be shy to do that if and when you think it's appropriate. I've also seen lots of examples of people singing their pitches while playing guitar, such talented people, rapping, even like taking a whiteboard and doing some fun art on the whiteboard. So like the options are endless. Just find ways to really connect with people and build that rapport. The great thing about video as well is that with Vidyard, at least, you can gather real-time analytics. So if you are in sales, it is so helpful to know when people are more engaged with you and prioritize those people based on their engagement. So being able to send 20 videos out to 20 different prospects and see that 12 people have watched your video 100% of the way through lets you as a sales rep work your warmest leads. So that's a really great piece of the video tool that you can actually leverage. And then finally, think about how you can capture the attention of those people who are watching your videos through things like CTAs or calendars. So a lot of us in sales are using calendar tools like HubSpot Calendar or Calendly, things like that that allow people to book time with you. And so actually incorporating those tools into your video so that if someone watches 100% of your video, they're hit with your calendar and they can book time with you to speak further. So those are some ways that you can get creative with prospecting using video.
I like that. And, prospecting with video, for those who are maybe skeptical or like, well, we're just not there yet. If I am your ICP, which I'm kind of like a mid-level marketer, I'm working at a B2B SaaS company, I can personally tell you that somebody's prospected me with video and done it really well, and it's been super successful for them. They sent me just a one-to-one email with a thumbnail embedded into the email of them holding up a whiteboard, like with my name on it, and it was a personalized video that was 30 seconds long. And it really got to show me that the rep I was going to be working with was super cool. We were in the market for what they were selling, and so it just happened to work out. And the process was super easy. They also were using Vidyard, and they were using like calendar integrations, and there was nothing stopping me from just listening to what that rep had to say. And the process was just super easy, and I didn't really have to talk to them on the phone right away or anything like that, because I was busy that day. So I'm a huge proponent of this, and I know it really works personally. So we'll go ahead and move it on to, and I saw some people in the chat just saying like, oh, let's see, how do you integrate your calendar into the end of a video? Reva, do we have any possible answers on that?
How do you integrate calendar into the end of the video? So I can speak to the Vidyard platform at least. Vidyard allows for customized events at throughout your videos. And so if you want to incorporate your calendar, it's just in our platform. You set it up so that all of your videos will show that calendar tool. So it's just native to the platform that you can actually just integrate your calendar right into your videos. And it's not one by one. You set it up as a default action. And so anytime you're sending a video out, your calendar's populating as well.
Cool, thanks. And then some people just having some technical difficulties. Try gallery mode through Zoom. That might help you guys play around with the 3-dot settings and your more options as you're looking at your screen. Hopefully that helps you guys. And then let's see, we're gonna move on to strategy 2. Troy, I'm gonna let you're gonna take this one over. Snail mail bulky proposals with glitter bombs to surprise prospects. As you can see, it makes this guy in this GIF super happy. We're just kidding, that is not anything we ever recommend doing. So Troy, I'll kick it off to you.
Perfect. So as far as some solutions there, build, send, track, and esign documents in minutes. First and foremost, stop sending PDFs, mainly because they take a while to create. And from a professionalism standpoint, much like a glitter bomb, if a salesperson is left to their own devices as to how that proposal is created, there's a strong chance that the proposal could deviate from how you'd like your company to be branded. So if you can leverage templates to ensure that each salesperson is playing in the sandbox that you gave them, it ensures that anything that gets sent out is going to be professional. The brand is going to look the way that you want it to. Also, when things are automated through the use of templates, it ensures that that e-signature document is going to get over to the prospect as quickly as possible. In the sales process, one of my mentors would tell me, anytime that you're selling someone, it's kind of like you're rolling a boulder up a hill. And anytime that you stop selling, you get off the phone, maybe you need to send a proposal, you need to, God forbid, mail a proposal, or you have to create a PDF, so it takes longer to do. Any time between when you are selling to when you get that over, that ball is not, or the boulder is not going to stay where you left it on the hill. It's going to roll back down. So if you're able to automate things and you're able to get that sent over in minutes, hopefully while you're still on the call with them, it gives you a much better chance of maintaining the level of interest and impulse that you had them at when you went for the close to begin with. It gives you a much better chance of being able to actually close the deal. So using templates, just make sure that you look as professional as possible at all times, and that it gets over quickly so you're not sacrificing any closing percentage.
That's great, Troy. The only thing I'll add here too is I've worked at companies where these type of solutions were not implemented, and having worked at PandaDoc now, where we for lack of a better phrase, eat our own dog food or drink our own Kool-Aid. We're using the Pandadoc platform ourselves to send out our proposals and automate every step of that kind of electronic document process. It's night and day. I mean, I worked as part of a marketing department where like each proposal was a custom made InDesign file that took a long time for marketing to put together for that sales rep. We tried to build them templates and it just kind of got messy, but with a solution, a document automation solution, that process is just like night and day. So no need to be sending bulky proposals ever via, you know, mail or via PDF anymore. It can all happen pretty quickly. So moving on to strategy 3. Create demo videos without sound so reps can practice miming. Guys, again, we're having some fun here today. We're just kidding. Obviously, your prospect would look a lot like this poor guy. Great stock image here. But strategy 3, we're gonna have Reva jump in and talk about demo videos and what she sees some of the customers at Vidyard doing to streamline that process.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people, if they are familiar with Vidyard, they know that we can really easily help you make webcam videos. That's something that's a lot of people use, but a lesser known part of the tool is that you can also create screen share videos. And this is really helpful for teams that, I don't know if anyone on the phone, if this sounds familiar, but in the sales cycle, a huge bottleneck is just being able to get a solutions consultant or a solutions engineer on the phone with a group of stakeholders from your prospect to do a demo. Sometimes it can take, 1 to 3 days to actually get that demo set up. They get canceled, they get rescheduled. And so many of our customers are using screen share video to record key micro demo content or key integrations, for instance, so that sales reps don't need to leverage those really expensive resources and useful resources to get on live demos. 9 times out of 10, I come from being an account executive, 9 times out of 10 on a demo, we're showing the same thing over and over. And so what about taking that demo, chunking it up so that you're showing key integrations or key components of your platform and empowering your sales team to actually send those videos out. The exciting thing is that number one, you alleviate the constraint on your resources that do demos, and you free them up to do way more complex or unique use cases. But number two, you're empowering your sales team to move their deals faster. So we have many customers who say, this has tightened up their deal cycle from, 30 to 50% faster than it was before. The other great thing is that you're able to give a resource to your prospect that they can revisit over and over. We also know that decisions aren't made by a single person in an account. And so by making a resource that you can give your champion, you are empowering them with information that's not going to get watered down or suffer from broken telephone. But you're also able to see with our analytics when people are actually watching that video. So if you know the VP of sales or the VP of marketing needs to see this piece of content, you can see if your champions actually shared that with the right people.
Yeah, I think one of the big keys here is figuring out which videos should be recorded at your organization and within your sales organization, and which ones, maybe should continue to be live. I know that, again, like in my own experience of just supporting sales teams and working to create videos for them to use, having something to give your champion and arm your champion to spread around their own organization it's like night and day. It's huge. So we'll move on. Let's see, strategy number 4. Guys, we're humming right along here and hope you're enjoying these terrible pieces of advice. This next one, strategy number 4, collect signatures by visiting in person with a feather and an ink, kind of like these fellows with their powder wigs. Again, just kidding. Let's tap into some e-signatures here with Troy.
So obviously now more than ever, companies that have the ability to offer e-signature as opposed to straight face-to-face contracts have a serious advantage over their competition. Before I had worked at PandaDoc, we had sent out things digitally, but when it got sent out, it was kind of company policy to try to get them signed on the phone when we sent that document out, because if we got off the phone, we had no earthly idea what was going on with the prospect after that. We had no visibility into the funnel. So there would be times where, we could potentially even lose a deal because the sales manager would be, pushing like, you got to get this signed now. We don't know what's going to happen when they get off the phone. And, it could, run the risk of offending somebody that wants to, read the document, at their own leisure. The reason being is they were so worried about, not having visibility into, in reality, the most important part of their funnel. You have visibility into your reps' dials. You have visibility into, what they book. There's a whole bunch of analytics, but then when you get to the end on the most valuable person, someone that says yes, or is at least close to a yes, and you're sending the document out, there's no visibility there. What happens when you sent it out? Do you know when your prospect reviewed the document, how long they spent on each part of the document? Just gives you way better visibility, which at PandaDoc we provide. Of course we do. Wouldn't have brought it up if we didn't provide it, right? And it also just enables you to get the deal done anywhere at any time if you're doing e-signature. There's no need to schedule an in-person meeting, and you can have the document created, sent, and signed within a matter of minutes. Again, the more that you cut down on any time between when you're selling and when they're signing, higher chance that you're going to be able to get them to sign. It's just a safer, more secure, and more professional option. Helps your deals get in faster, eliminates any hurdles between you and the deal.
And then now, obviously, Troy brought it up. It's a great time for us to go ahead and just put a quick plug in there. For anyone that is interested, PandaDoc just launched a completely free e-signature product. So go to pandadoc.com. It'll be right at the top with a new banner. So if you want to just check out and see what the free e-signature platform looks like, you guys can do that totally free. So quick plug. And we're going to move on to strategy number 5. Disconnect videos from your CRM to ignore attribution, whether that be sales or marketing attribution. And you can feel like this awesome lady in one of my favorite memes of all time and be super confused as a sales rep, or any person as part of the revenue organization when you don't have videos kind of speaking with your CRM, whether that be HubSpot or Salesforce. We're just kidding, guys. You definitely want to make sure that you have all of that data. And I'm going to just pass it off to Reva here.
Yeah, so Vidyard integrates with, platforms like Salesforce and HubSpot, for instance. And that is super valuable for teams that are always looking for that attribution and that ROI on investments like this. A couple of kind of relevant ways that it can help sales teams, not just from an attribution perspective, but from visibility into what's going on, is that number one, if anyone's been in territory for a while, you'll know that your territory changes all the time. Different people come onto the team, people are promoted. And so if there was, let's say, a business development rep or a sales rep that had sent video out in the past to someone, wouldn't the future business development rep or account executive love to know if that person watched the video or not? And so pushing that data into platforms that your sales team lives in every day can be really useful that way. It can let you know which leads really like video, which leads have consumed a lot of video, and also what was said in that video, because we know buyers don't really have a lot of patience for a sales rep who's not covering ground that was already covered. You don't want to ask questions that were already asked. You don't want to cover things that they've already said they weren't interested in, and things like that. So it enables your team to go in with a lot more knowledge and also know which leads are the best leads to work with. From a sales team perspective, like a team that's doing full cycle sales, pushing this data into Salesforce, for instance, is really helpful in, again, understanding if you have engaged the right people at your prospect's company. So if you are single threaded, you know, you're working with a marketing manager, for instance, but you know that typically the people that buy your product are, the stakeholder group is comprised of a demand gen person, a VP of marketing, a CRO. You want to know if those people are engaging with your content. And so this integration can let you know, all these stakeholders, they are watching the videos, they are all engaged. From a management perspective, I use this integration every single day. So this integration lets me know who on my team has videos that are getting 100% view all the time. I want to talk to those reps and find out, what are you saying in your videos and how can we share that across the team so that we're getting more engagement when we're prospecting or selling. So those are some ways that you can use this data inside systems you use, like your CRM.
Perfect. Well said. I won't add too much onto that one. I think you went more in depth than I ever could hope to. Strategy number 6, guys. This is our last one. Offer an invoice that requires prospects to pay with $2 bills only. Our last terrible piece of advice. Troy, go ahead and take it away, my man.
Yeah, so anytime that there is payment being collected that's even a little bit difficult, at least personally, I feel like that's the case. Like someone just asked me to pay in just $2 bills. Like it might as well be the same thing if it's even a minor inconvenience. So obviously a way of making sure that you can get things in quicker is just to collect payments electronically as soon as they sign. Almost more importantly, just eliminating unnecessary steps, creating a simple, easy way for somebody to check out, pay, and move on, and use familiar gateways. Again, I actively avoid dealing with any business. Makes it difficult for me to pay them. You mentioned, Travis, that I drive a Tesla. My wife drives a Tesla. You can check out online. It was, half the reason. One was the drive to work was long, but wife doesn't have a long drive to work. She works from home all the time. But we're looking at new vehicles. We didn't want to sit in the dealership all day. So you can easily check out, you just go in and you pick it up. We were willing to pay more for that. When I go to get my haircut, it's a barbershop that only takes cash. I'm not going there. I'm looking for somewhere where I can easily just swipe my card and move on. It's an obstacle where you could have a better product, and I'd rather go to, Supercuts that's even further down the road, but I don't have to get out of my car or drive through to a ATM or anything like that. I'll inconvenience myself just because I don't want to be inconvenienced at the business. So why have an obstacle in front of your sale when you can remove it? This is easy stuff that's controllables for any business. Why add an extra obstacle? The easiest way for you to do business and to be able to collect payment is to do it electronically and eliminate as many steps as you possibly can, which, doing it through an electronic document quickly is really the most efficient way of being able to do it.
Yeah, and just to add on there, in the poll we did at the beginning of this, you guys said that the purchasing portion of your funnel was where you're experiencing some slowdown. Don't let that be the case, especially with times being tough. My barber takes Venmo, for the record, and I'm able to give him a little bit of extra cash because he's out of work right now, and he always takes care of me. You want to make sure that just because you're all the way at the end of that sales cycle, and you think you've got the hook, line, and sinker, and you don't have to worry about it as much, why put that obstacle in the way? Perfectly said. Also, Tesla's not a sponsor, but maybe they want to be one day for one of our webinars here, guys. So we're going to wrap it up, guys. Obviously, Panadoc and Vidyard, we get along really well. We've got a great integration going on where you can use Vidyard videos inside of your Panadoc documents, which is cool. And if you'd like to check out a free trial, we've got links in here. Again, vidyard.com, panadoc.com, and then some sweet takeaways, guys. Vidyard just put out pretty recently a 2020 video trends report. So if you are somebody that is interested in looking about how to use video and what the kind of like what the market is saying right now, take a look at that. And then with Panadoc's State of Deals report, that is like fresh off the press, something that we're really excited about. We took a look at 17,000 plus of our customers and hundreds of surveys from different sales leaders to figure out where are some of the gaps between buyers and sellers I think that's especially important today, so feel free to grab your copy there. And as always, guys, socialize with us. If you attended today, add Reva on LinkedIn, add Troy on LinkedIn. We're always looking to connect with you guys. I know you won't be disappointed. They're very active. I follow them and they post great stuff, so feel free to do that. And let's see if we've got any last minute questions. We can open it up here. I don't see any. Let me just double check. Let's see. No, I'm not seeing any. So, oh, we've got 4, my bad. All right, let's go ahead and check these out real quick. At what stage do you utilize video in the sequence? First stage, or maybe as a follow-up after calls/emails? Reva, do you want to try to take that one?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that's from Thomas. I say all of the above. So at Vidyard, our first step in our business outreach, like our outbound cadence, is a video, of course. But we would say, you know, lead with that. It's the most compelling call to action. That play button is really compelling. But we also see it used making sure people show up for calls. So preemptive, post-call wrap-up. Maybe you want to summarize your call and next steps. We also really like to use it in handoffs. So when you've signed a customer on and they're excited to partner with you, doing a little email or a video intro to their customer success manager. That's a really fun way to kind of show your company culture a bit.
Cool. I work with an older buyer in general, and they often hate links and specifically request PDFs. Troy, what do you think about people that are diehard PDF fans? I think we've got you on mute.
I'd say that that's obviously it can be a rare case, but I've definitely sold to some people that are very old school. It's also hard to get them in on an online demonstration just to begin with. You know, we used to say, "Hey, do you watch TV?" All right, it's like that. No, we're gonna have your grandson get you popped on here so you can at least get a look at this because you own the company. But I'd recommend in that case still using a template so you can create a quick document and make sure that the proposal remains professional and that it's, you know, it remains on brand the way that you want it to, and then just quickly converting to PDF and sending to them. If you think that sacrificing potentially the ability to collect the signature live right away is going to do less harm than trying to push them to click on a link, then I would bend a bit to their process, particularly if you're at the point where they're pretty much ready to sign. You know, I'm willing to bend a little bit if it means that it's going to get a signature and get the deal done. So it can still do what would have been kind of important, particularly on that slide, meaning, you know, get it created quickly and get it over to them quickly, and also make sure that it remains professional through using a template. But, you know, in an extreme case, you could always convert it to PDF and send it over.
Yeah, and for anybody that's interested in software like PandaDoc, I believe there are options to convert a PandaDoc into a PDF. I don't want to speak incorrectly. I see Troy nodding, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's correct. But the last time I looked at PandaDoc, that was the case. Let's see, is Vidyard associated with PandaDoc? Is this a sales call for Vidyard? No, we are not necessarily associated, except for the fact that we do have integrations available between PandaDoc and Vidyard. This is not a sales call for Vidyard. We're just trying to help you guys out and talk about our sales processes and our customers' sales processes and what we see as being very successful for speeding things up, especially nowadays. And then lastly, Troy, can payments be collected through PandaDoc directly? Yeah, we covered that one. So I think we're going to go ahead and just say that that is correct. You can definitely collect payments through PandaDoc the moment a deal is sent. So how can you get your emails and videos viewed faster? This one came from Simon. I seem to be struggling even getting my emails and videos opened. Reva, I'll let you take that. I've got some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I think that something I learned from John Barrows actually is every 3 months, look and see do some research on good subject lines. Subject lines get really old really fast, and like a great subject line comes out and then every sales rep uses it and it's not great anymore. So that would be number one. Number two is we find when we mention video in the subject line, it opens the email more than without the word video.
Yeah, I think pay attention too to like what can you help with right now. So you know, with what's going on today with like a global health crisis and stuff, double check your emails. Make sure that your templates you're using are updated because they may not be relevant right now. And you just want to make sure that everything you're talking about is relevant to the prospect. And I would say, think about what you would want to see in a subject line. Use that empathy. Like, what do you usually click as an open and something gets your attention? As a marketer, that's usually how I design some of our emails. It's just like, I think about like what I would click on, because a lot of times that can be the ICP for PandaDoc ourselves. And then the next question is it possible to present and discuss a PandaDoc document via Zoom? Troy, yes, absolutely. I'll let you handle this one.
Yeah, you can. Short answer, yes, but yeah, you can present and go through the documents via Zoom. There's a multitude of different ways that you can do that. I mean, the simple one is you can either do a walkthrough or you can share a screen. There's a few different methods of being able to do that, but that's yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and in fact, a lot of our reps do that, and a lot of our top customers also do that. They will build proposals together. They will have the prospect build the proposal with them via a Zoom screen share, and force the prospect to open the PandaDoc and then share their screen via Zoom so that they're doing it themselves and they can walk through it. It's a much more collaborative process that way, and it's something we see be very successful, again, for our own reps and for our customers. Let's see, we'll take these last two questions and then we'll sign off here, but should videos be integrated in emails be a certain length and get straight to the point? Smiley face, that one's from Scott. Reva?
Very good question. We say, try to, that first video that you're sending out, 70, 60 seconds or less. It's nice to mention how long it is. People want to know like how much time do I have to commit to this? So mentioning, watch this 1-minute video, that can help. Further down the line of a sales cycle, if someone's expecting a demo video on an integration, for instance, you've got a bit more bandwidth to maybe take 3 to 5 minutes of their time. But selfie style videos, really short and to the point.
Yeah, I agree. I do like those selfie style videos. And I said earlier, somebody got me and got our company to buy stuff with one of those selfie style videos. So those work really well. And then I think we kind of covered this, but Troy, if there's anything else you wanted to add here of just like removing obstacles for payments when you're sending electronic documents and contracts.
So if you're walking someone through, no matter what the process is, as far as removing the obstacle, I would bring up a harder way to do it than you're doing now before you tell them how you do it. So hey, we don't show up to your office and we collect a signature. We don't have to send anything out to you guys. It's real simple. We just collect it right over the phone. We can do it electronically. You guys have your credit card? Awesome. So just bringing up what would have been an obstacle that you don't have, and then playing up the fact that what you do is actually easier, and then immediately going into collecting the payment.
Yeah, I think that's going to sum it up for us, guys. I want to make sure we get everyone back to their jobs. I'm going to end it with my favorite joke that I've read recently, which is, how did Yoda close his first deal? Guys, he used the sales force. So happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll be following up with video recordings and slides as soon as those become available. So thanks a bunch. Bye, guys. Thanks,
Bye,
Troy. Thanks,
everyone.
Reva.